So, welcome everyone to our weekly 15-minute boost, all about emotional intelligence and your career transition. Myself, Denise Farquharson, leadership and emotional intelligence coach, here to spend some time with Dr. Tara. Tara, over to you to introduce yourself.
Yes, it's always great to reconvene on Wednesday. So happy Wednesday, everyone. I am Dr. Tara, and I am your up and out coach. So I work with women to help them develop, design a plan to go up in the organization or out to a new opportunity. So glad to be here today.
Fantastic. So we're hoping to give you some help today by offering you this particular topic about how you can actually find comfort when you're actually navigating that journey and making those changes. And so let's hear from you first, Tara. What are your thoughts about that whole discomfort that people can feel when they're going through this particular aspect of their career?
It's definitely a real thing. A lot of, as I mentioned when we were on an earlier call in Clubhouse, that, there are a lot of first time things that happen when you're in that career transition. And it's really important to kind of give yourself the grace, but also the space to reset, because the starting line has moved. The starting line is in a different place now, in a place that you're unfamiliar with. And so many times we connect that lack of familiarity to what I would say fear or discomfort. And so really being able to call it out what it is. And that's that this is a time that I'm in a new space. I'm forging new relationships, and all of it does or could create some discomfort, but also recognizing what it is I need to do for myself to move to be more comfortable in this new space.
And that's important, is recognizing it, because if you don't, that's what adds to the discomfort. Would you agree? If you don't
Yes,
take
yes,
time, right?
absolutely.
Yes, definitely. So, having that time to recognize what it is. And I was saying earlier, with all that is happening, all the changes coming out of pandemic, recession, no recession, government, no government, new presidents, new prime ministers, all these things are having an impact on the corporate
Yes.
world. And when all this is happening, I reflected on the fact that actually, when you think about technology, the technology sector have used this
Mhm.
appetite of change to
Yes.
make changes. And so if you are sensing that appetite of change within your career and sense that something needs to shift, something needs to move, then actually, why not copy what the technology sector have done? And behind the scenes, start to work out what that journey could look like. What's my strategy? What's my
Mm.
navigation? What's my next steps? And not be afraid to do so. And then, as they've done, they've launched some amazing things out there that have helped to lift and shift the corporate world out of 2022 into 23 and beyond. You could do the same for your career as well.
And that's a really great point, because it's really about being intentional. And the more intentional you are with embracing and accepting that you're in a place that's uncomfortable, the more comfortable you'll become. So the more that you lean in, the more that you are proactive, the more intentional that you are, then you find that you're able to really move past that place of discomfort a lot easier than it would be constantly fighting internally with yourself and trying to attach a label to feelings that don't fit. It's just really important to call it out, to recognize it, acknowledge it for what it is, but knowing that you will not be in this place, in this space forever. Because you've started a new job before, you've had to build relationships before, you've had to start at probably not at this particular starting place. It may be a higher level place, but it may also be a lower level place. And actually, to that point, I want to also just recognize that many times we take for granted that everyone's starting in a new role, new title, making more money, but there are a plethora of individuals who have been impacted during this time that were demoted, who may have had to take less money, less compensation. But in both situations, there is a time in which there is a feeling of discomfort that is not the norm in your life, or has not been the norm in your career, particularly in a career that you've been doing for several years. So I would definitely say it's important to acknowledge it, make a mental note of what you're feeling, or capture it in the way that makes sense for you. And then also try to start to attach a different narrative, identify how you can switch the narrative for what you're feeling. And then I always go back to this, Denise, and that's to understand your why. The why looks different every time we make a transition. And if it's the same, it's okay. But being able to go back and kind of just kind of understand, or just kind of visualize, but take yourself back to, why am I doing this? Why am I making this change? Why am I making this change now? Who does it benefit? And what are the benefits of it? So I think all of those things are really important in going through this career transition.
Those are some absolutely great tips, Tara, for sure. And it's reminded me of a question I'll put out to anybody who's listening to this on the replay as well, is actually, you've been uncomfortable before in, project A or project B or project C that you did last year or the year before, even the year before that. But you delivered, and you made it happen, and you developed and implemented it. You have just got to apply the same particular skills and strategies to your journey. It can be as simple as that. And I'm not minimizing it. Trust me, I'm not trying to make your discomfort trite in any way whatsoever. Right. But it's to highlight that you have got the ability to deal with it. So therefore, switch that mindset to, I am able, I can do, I've done it before, but this time it's a me project. This time it's a project for my family. This time it's a project for my future. And that's a different way and a different mindset to tackle it with, because that's an emotional intelligence trait of adaptability, flexibility, optimism, self-actualization. And you're ticking all the boxes there. If you can just recognize and just make that slight adjustment, that can make such a difference for you in order for you to then map out what next. So in order to do that, Tara, speak about a little bit about what you can do to help.
Yes, I can work with you to, one, let's really call it out. Let's acknowledge what it is, where you are, and what you're going through. And then we work through several different exercises to really capture how you can build a bridge to start to move past those particular things. And ultimately, what you're doing in this partnership is designing or building a plan for you to go up or out in the organization.
And believe me, myself and Tara have been through lots of examples of up, out, and across. And so our expertise is definitely there to help you to stay confident, to stay optimistic, and to stay focused on what it is you need for your journey. So really glad that you've joined us today. If there's anything else that you need from us, please do connect and follow us on LinkedIn, and ask us any questions and DM us if you need to, so that you can get started and have more comfort in your journey rather than discomfort. So thanks everyone. You take care, and catch you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.